In this video, I'll talk about how to save your marriage if your wife wants a divorce. I'll tell you about the unpleasant moments that are associated with any divorce and how you can change your wife's mind even if she's hard set on leaving you. Often, a woman states her many demands when filing for divorce. At the same time, the man begins to either try and make her pity him, beg her to come back, give her many gifts, or, on the contrary, threaten her. But none of these actions will get you to the result you want. It's best to act completely different. Agree with your wife and tell her that you also believe that it's best to separate. Don't argue with her. If she wants to leave, just accept it and act calm and level-headed. She will be upset by the fact that you aren't even trying to keep her. Don't fight, but rather pretend like you don't care. When you let her go, you are telling her that you aren't codependent, that you can be without her. When you are calm, she will also be calm because she will understand that you respect her wishes and aren't trying to change her mind. In this situation, the woman doesn't want to be pressured, but your behavior will make her think twice. She'll have 1,000 thoughts in her head and will wonder why you aren't trying to keep her. This will make her doubt her decision. Usually, all of the demands a woman has when filing for divorce boil down to how fast everything is finalized. If there are serious issues to discuss, such as financial matters, ask her for a pause for a little while and not file for divorce right away. Tell her that you need to deal with some important matters, but don't tell her under any circumstance that you are trying to keep her. You have to understand that if you act in the open and tell her you want her to stay, you'll only push her away. So it's important to let her know that you aren't trying to keep her, but at the same time, take measures to make her want to be with you again. If there's talk about dividing property or custody of your children, don't fight for it. And don't threaten to take everything away. It's much more important to iron out the differences between you. If you don't have a prenuptial, you can tell her you want to sign a postnuptial to make the divorce procedures go faster. Suggest that you both see a lawyer in relation to this matter. This will take some time. Tell her that it's for the best, and you are only trying to keep her happy by expediting the procedure of separation. Agree with all of her conditions. This will help you win time. How should you communicate with your children during this difficult time? Many men start to manipulate their wives through their children. You should never do this. This makes children suffer because their psyche is still very tender. Their parents' separation is a very difficult thing for them. Don't make it harder. Children shouldn't see you arguing or feel the tension between you. Talk to your children and let them know that you and their mother just want to live apart for some time. Don't blame her and never tell them anything bad about their mother. Explain that there's been a lot of tension between the two of you and you just don't want to argue anymore. It's difficult for children to see one of their parents leave. Don't sweep the reasons for the divorce under the rug, or they may think that it's their fault somehow. You should always be easygoing when talking to children in general. You will need to change for the better, so your wife sees it. Accidentally mention the changes you are going through to your children. This will help you get closer to your wife. If you ever threaten her to take away your children, it will make it much more difficult to get her back in the future. It's very important to stay friendly with her. If she's trying to manipulate you and is stating demands that are impossible to meet, don't argue. Just ask for some time to think things over. Don't provoke further arguments. So, here's a plan that will raise your chances of keeping your marriage. First, take a break for several weeks and try to communicate with your wife as little as possible. This will give her time to miss you and you to work on yourself. During the separation, your wife, just like you, remembers all the good things you had together. There's still a connection between you two, and it won't go away just because you separated. Most often, people tell each other very negative things during separation. Even if your wife did this, you need to understand that she only tried to protect herself from the pain of your relationship. But in her mind, she will go back to the good moments of your marriage time and again. She will be drawn to you, but the negative aspects of your marriage will stop her. It's very important to remove these negative aspects, and there are techniques that will help you do this. These techniques will help you get your wife to the point where she relaxes and wants herself to let go of all the bad memories. Her resentment will disappear, but not if you don't show her how much you changed. She must clearly see this and understand that it's true. She will then understand that she can become happy with you again and that she will never want to leave in the future. Don't try to lie to her by telling her that you changed, but acting the same way you did before. Your change is very important. I would like to recommend a great website where I found a lot of information on how to get a wife back. Take a look, exback.how/W. That's exback.how/W. After you've changed, you can begin resuming contact, getting closer to her, and restoring her trust. It happens that the husband and wife talk, but their communication doesn't go further than surface chit-chat. In this case, the negativity you had in the relationship is what's keeping you from getting closer. Remember, your wife is disappointed in your marriage and doesn't want to ever feel the pain she felt with you. It's also possible that she completely lacked positive emotions in your marriage, which will also keep her from reconciliation. There are methods that will help you influence your wife and make her love and want you again. Desire is not a choice. It can be summoned by influencing proper emotions. But this will only work if her defense wall is broken down. There's another important thing, without which you will never have a perfect relationship, full of harmony and happiness. It's important to analyze all of the mistakes you made during your marriage. You absolutely have to work on them. You must become much more attractive and interesting to your wife, so she understands that she will be happy in the relationship with you. But you can't just talk her into this understanding. She has to see the proof of your changes. I recommend you use the tactic of indirect influence. With it, you will be able to create a new and attractive image which will pull your wife in like a magnet. You can get more information on this and other techniques to save your marriage by visiting our site below.